Hi everyone, in the Friday B1 class. Today we're going to be doing page 81, 82, 83, and 84. Okay, so you need your books, you need your notebook, you need your pencil case, and you need a quiet place so you can do your work. Okay, so the first thing I'd like you guys to do is open your notebook and write the alphabet A, B, C, D, etc. in a a vertical line. Don't include the letter X, okay? We don't need X for this, okay? So when you're finished writing the alphabet, you need to write the name of a country for each letter of the alphabet, okay? So I have done one, okay? And you need to do the same. So for each letter of the alphabet, write the name of a country that starts with that letter. For example, A, you can say Albania, for example, okay? I'm going to give you maybe 3 or 4 minutes to do that. So pause the video now, and when you're finished, you can turn the video back on and we can do it together, okay? So I've got my list here, and we're going to play a game. On my list, I have some countries, okay? And if you have the same country as me, you have to cross it off. If you have a different country, you can put a tick. When we're finished, you count all the ticks, and that's your amount of points, okay? And if you have more points than me, then you win. So you have to let me know what countries you have as well by sending this to my email, okay? So these are my countries. I don't know if you can read them. See here, you can pause the video and you can have a look at the countries that I wrote, okay? Do you have any of the same or different? Okay, so what I'd like you guys to do now is open your student's book to page 81, okay? We're starting Unit 7, and the topic is It's All About Getting There. Getting there, get there means arrive somewhere, okay? So, for example, one time I traveled to Colombia and it was a really long trip, okay? And when I was getting there, I had to pass through lots of security controls and I went to many different airports and I had to go through different countries to get there, okay, to arrive there. Have a look at the questions just here at the bottom and I'll answer them with you, okay? So I'd like you to write the answers first in your notebook, and then I'll answer them with you after you do that, so you can get in some examples, okay? So number 1, do you prefer to visit places that are similar or different to your home, and why? So for me, I don't know. I just prefer to travel anywhere and see anything new. I really like places that are different from my home, which are many places because I'm from Nebraska. But I like to see especially things in Europe because that's really different for me. And I would also really like to see parts of Asia. Okay. What about number 2? How much do you enjoy the journey when you travel to new places? Why? What do you think? Some people are all about the destination, and some people are all about that journey being the fun part. For me, I'm definitely about the journey. I think that's so much fun. It's like a huge adventure. That's my favorite. I love it. I don't always love being on an airplane for like 11 or 12 hours, but I really like the whole process of getting there and being excited about visiting a new place. That's really exciting for me. And number 3, what's the best journey you have ever been on and why? Huh? The best journey. I don't know. One time I went to a really cool island in Europe. I think you've probably heard of Corsica. And I had to go to Italy first and take a ferry from a port called Livorno. And we went from there to Corsica, and it took about 4 hours. And it was just really cool to go on that ferry because you passed all these little islands on the way and you were really in the middle of the ocean. And when I finally got to Corsica, it was amazing because it's just an amazing island. It's kind of like just covered in rocks and greenery, and it's dry, and it's really cool. I really recommend it. So that was my favorite journey. Can you guys answer all 3 of these questions in your notebook? Okay, So pause the video to answer these questions in your notebook, okay? And you can send this to my email as well. So when you're finished, go to the next page, these 2 pages, okay? You have 82 and 83. And what I'd like you to do is have a look at number 1. It says, what things are important to you when you go on holiday and why? Put these factors in order of importance. So 1 is the most important. You have activities, people, the place, journey. So the journey is like the trip, basically how you get there. The weather and accommodation, where you stay, a hotel, Airbnb, I don't know, camping, different types of things, okay? Which is the most important for you? Can you write that in your notebook? And then have a look at number 2. Okay, you have different types of transport they're talking about. So on page 83, you have a picture here of a type of transport. What is that called? And have you ever been on one of these? The name of this is a cable car. Have you ever been on one of these? I have been on several. When I was I went to Switzerland once and they have so many cable cars. But I also was in a cable car in Medellin because that's how they get around a lot of the time. People who live up in the hills have to get down to the city and vice versa. So I've been on quite a few. Have you been on a cable car? When and where have you been on a cable car? Okay, so have a look at the questions in number 2. So number 1 says, what kind of transport is this? Cable car. 2, which do you think is the most convenient way to get around a big city? So imagine a big city like Madrid or Barcelona or London, Paris. What is the most convenient way? What other types of transport do you know? You have maybe a car, a bicycle, rollerblades, walking, taxi, bus, metro or tube. What's that called? Streetcar or a tram. That's another type. I don't know any others. How else can you get around the city? A boat, maybe? Motorcycle? If you know more types of transport in a city, let me know. I probably forgot some. Okay? What do you think is the most convenient way to get around a city? Let me know. Okay? And 3, which types of transport have you tried? Let me know that as well. So write that in your notebook and send that to my email with everything else. Okay, so what we're going to do now is have a look at number 3 here. Okay, it says the young people below are visiting a city for the day. Read what each one says about their day. Who has visited the city before? So you have 5 people. Read this. Read what they say, their profiles. Who has visited a city before? So pause this, please. And when you finish reading, tell me who has visited this city before. Who has visited London before? Okay. So Krista, number 3, Krista has visited London before. Okay, guys? So what I'd like you to do is before we read the text, I have some vocabulary words that I'm not sure if you know that appear in the text. Okay, you've got them here. We have segue, tour guide, join, allow, unique, and refreshments. Join and allow are verbs. Segue, tour guide, segue, tour guide, and refreshments are nouns, okay? And unique is an adjective, okay? Can you please pause the video and match the words to their correct definitions? Okay, here they are. Pause the video now and match to the definitions. Okay, so now that you're back, we are going to match the words to their definitions. So, a segue is like an electronic scooter. Do you like my drawing? I know it's not very clear, but it's like a scooter, but instead of being this way, it's this way. And you stand up and there are two big wheels on each side, and it's really funny actually. Have you ever tried this? I've never tried it, but I've always wanted to. Okay, a tour guide is a person that shows you around a city. Maybe in Lugo, there are some tour guides that tell foreigners about the Roman wall, things like that. Okay? Join means to take part in something. Join a team, join a club, join an activity, join the gym. Allow is permit. Do your parents allow you to go to a party and stay out late at night? Do they allow you to go to a restaurant with your friends by yourself? Do they allow you to go to school walking by yourself? Okay. Unique means interesting and new, like a unique experience. And refreshments are drinks and light snacks. So maybe if you go to see a theater production or a play, they have some refreshments during the intermission. Maybe they have some Coca-Cola, or they usually have ice cream. I don't really know why, but they usually have ice cream, or they have some types of drinks, or maybe some crisps, or small sandwiches, things like that. Those are refreshments, okay? So we've got our vocabulary here. What I'd like you to do now is have a read of all 8 of these different types of transport and way to see the city of London, okay? These are 8 city tours. So you have 8 different options of how to see London. These people have different requirements and things that they want to do. You need to match people 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with the most appropriate city tour for them. Okay? But be careful. Remember, you don't look at one profile, for example, number 1, Mala, and you think, okay, she likes visiting places and discovering things on her own. Okay, it must be letter E, for example. No, all of the information, every part of the information here needs to match every part of the information in one of these activities. Okay, not just one piece of information. All of the information needs to be the same. Okay. So we're going to do number 1 together, and then you can do 2, 3, 4, and 5 by yourself. So have a look at Mala. It says, Mala is excited about her first trip to the city, but she wants to know how people live there. She wants to know how people live there. Underline this important piece of information. She likes visiting places and discovering things on her own. On her own. And in her own time. In her own time. So you have 3 pieces of important information about Mala. Now, go read these different tours, and find the one that has the exact same information. So pause the video and look for the best tour for Mala. Okay, now that you're back, have a look at ABC Travel. It's letter B. This one is perfect for Mala. It says, if you want to see the real streets, then try our pedicab tours. Okay, so the real streets matches with, she wants to know how people live there. Okay, so those are the real streets. It's not the tourist part, it's the real part. Our driver will take you around on our special bicycles that have seats on the back. It's a gentle way to get to know the very heart of the city, and you can stop off where you want and sightsee, but we will wait for you. She can go where she wants and in her own time. Do you see? All 3 pieces of information here match all of the pieces of information here. So that's the correct answer. Okay? Can you please do number 2, 3, 4, and 5 by yourself? Pause the video and do numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So now that you're back, we're going to do them together. Okay? So we said number 1 was B. Okay, number 1 was B. Up here, sorry, my board doesn't erase very well. B. Okay, number 2 is best tours. So it's letter C. Okay, number 2 is C. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. Okay, C. Number 3 is Tony's tours. So it's letter A. Meh. Okay. Number 4 is Smith and Co. tours. So that's letter E. Okay. And number 5 is first class travel. Letter F. Okay, good job, guys. So what we're going to do now is I want you to have a look at number 7 on the same page. Okay, you have got some vocabulary words here that are the same as in the text. Okay, but these are some words and you need to find the phrasal verbs. So phrasal verbs are verbs with one preposition after or 2 prepositions and maybe sometimes 3, but I think it's usually just 1 and 2. Okay, so can you pause the video and look for the vocabulary words in number 7? Okay, so once you've done this, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to go over the answers together. So number 1 is jump on, get on. Number 2, jump off. You can't see that. There you go. Off. Number 3 is stop off. Okay. Number 4 is sign up. Like this. Number 5 is get about. Okay. That's number 5. And if you guys have any questions, please email me with the answers or write to my email. Okay. So what I'd like you to do now is have a look at the last page, page 84. 84, numbers 3 and number 4. I'd like you to have a look at this. And this is some homework for you. I'd like you to send this to my email. Okay? We're talking about defining relative clauses. So, can you please read this grammar box and then we'll talk about what it says. So, read the grammar box and also choose the correct answer. Okay? So, once you've done that, I will go and tell you what the answers are. So, defining relative clauses. It says, defining relative clauses tell us exactly which people, things, or animals we're talking about. We use who for people, which for things and animals, and where for places. So, you'll travel on a cable car. What do you guys think? Which or where? Which. Okay, it's the first one, which. So circle which, because it's a thing, okay? Which has all the latest entertainment technology. Our guide can take you to parts of the city where tourists don't normally go. So circle where. Our tours include a guide who is very experienced. So circle who, because it's a person, okay? Have a look at the next one. We can also use that instead of who or which. So who and which, you can also say that for both of them, okay? For example, our driver will ride you around on our special bicycles that have seats on the back, okay? Because they're referring to the bicycles, so you say that. You can get weekly passes that make it more economical. We can leave out or exclude which, who, or that when it is the object of the verb, especially in speech and informal writing. So our special map gives you all the information you need. So you don't need to have a relative pronoun. A relative pronoun is a word like that, which, who, where, etc. Okay, I'm going to write that down for you so it's a little bit easier. Sorry about, I can't erase this part, so just ignore that, okay? Relative pronoun is, for example, where, who, which, when, that. Okay, words like these are relative pronouns. Okay, but sometimes you don't need a relative pronoun if you have two subjects in a sentence. For example, okay, no, I don't know who that is. Okay, you're gonna laugh at me. Let's say Maluma is a singer. Hang on, let me write that again because there's no space, okay? I know you're gonna laugh so much at Maluma. Maluma is a singer I like because he's from Colombia, okay? So Maluma is a singer I like, or Maluma is a singer that I like, or Maluma is a singer who I like, okay? But usually you don't need to say who, you can say that. And you don't even need that because a singer and I are two different subjects. So when there are two different subjects in the sentence, you do not need a relative pronoun. Okay, I hope that was more or less clear. So what you need to do now, guys, is do the exercises. Have a look at number 3, okay? You do not need to listen. It says listen. It's possible if you have a CD that you can listen, but you don't need to, okay? You just need to complete the sentences with who, which, or where, okay? For example, number 1, what is the very fast train which runs in Japan? Because it's a thing. So remember, which is for things, where places, and who people. Okay? And complete these sentences with who, which, or where, and then answer them with these answers. Can you please do that and send that to my email? And the last one, number 4, you have 5 questions, and in each question, there are 2 sentences. You need to join or unite these sentences with a relative pronoun that. Okay, so you have 2 sentences and you need to make it one sentence, combining the 2 sentences with the pronoun that. Okay, the last thing that I'd like you to do for homework is number 6 and number 7. So again, relative pronouns in number 6, you need to either use a relative pronoun or you don't need a relative pronoun. So in the sentence, if there are 2 subjects, you don't need a relative pronoun. And the same, in number 7, it's more practice about relative pronouns, okay? So you need to send this work to my email before next Friday. Okay, guys? Well, thank you so much for coming to class. If you have any questions again, I'm always available. Email me at the email that appears on our website, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye!